What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today's reaction video is why the US hates roundabouts. I have checked this out before, and so this is mainly a your opinion, I guess. I'll obviously chime in, as I always do, for something else I've realised, or if there's something I forgot, but this is on you, I think.
I hate roundabouts.
Wait, yeah, you actually might be of the American kind of...
The side, I hate roundabouts. I can't... I like my roundabouts, Jersey roundabouts, because they're not... There's only like a 2-lane, isn't there?
Yeah, there's not as many people.
2 lanes on Jersey roundabouts. There's no traffic lights. I cannot stand when I had to drive at Christmas in Yorkshire with all those blimmin' traffic lights, and then the traffic lights going red on the roundabout. You're not meant to wait on a roundabout, in my opinion.
I think the frustration about roundabouts by a lot of people is, especially in America, because, again, this bit, I don't want to spoil this video too much. I'd say the frustrations in England, I guess. They're really simple, but when people don't understand them and they just stand there for ages, it is so frustrating.
That was me.
Because you just are like, oh, you can go now. And then they're still not pulling off. It's like, come on, you can go now. But when everyone gets it, it works.
Yeah, I mean, it took me a while to get it. I think I nailed it towards the end of the trip.
Yeah.
Like your stepmom would agree. I did it by myself towards the end, and I mean, she had to tell me about 7 times in my head where I needed to be. And as I was driving around it in my head, I could hear her saying, "Right now, Millie, go into that lane." but if I go back now, I'll have forgotten. No,
definitely. But I think if everyone knows what they're doing, it's a great thing, and we'll see why in this video. Let's get straight into it. Let's talk about it. Smash the like button if you enjoy it. Smash the subscribe button as well, you absolute legends. And let's check out why you guys hate roundabouts. Let us know in the comments if you hate them or not, and what's your reason. Let's go.
Carmel, Indiana is home to an unusual record. The city of 97,000 people north of Indianapolis boasts over 125 modern roundabouts, more than any other U.S. city, and they're proud of it. This number accounts for 3% of the country's 4,000 total roundabouts. But compared to other countries, the U.S. is not holding any records. France has the most roundabouts, with over 30,000 constructed across the country.
I've been on a lot of roundabouts in France.
Yeah? I suppose you've had quite a few trips to France, haven't you? But the fact that the US, it says 4,000, didn't it, overall, in such a massive place, and then somewhere nowhere near the size of the US has got 30,000.
I wonder how many England's got. I mean, obviously England's a bit smaller, but I imagine they've got a good fair few.
Oh, definitely.
Jersey's got a good fair few.
Comment for it tells us. Well, we ain't got that many.
We've got about 10?
About 10.
which is a lot, really, when you think about it. But when you think about how big Jersey is, 10 roundabouts is a lot.
It is. But you just said, we're talking in context of 30,000. I went, Jersey is quite a lot.
Look how small we are on the map. We're the size of one of those roundabout poles.
I know.
10 is brilliant.
It is followed closely by the United Kingdom.
25,000, there you go.
Roundabouts.
Feels like it when you're driving.
So how did one small Midwestern city become the roundabout capital of the U.S.? The reason can be credited to Mayor Jim Brandon. During his graduate school trip to England, he observed the ease and safety of the country's numerous roundabouts. Drivers were yielding to traffic and to bikes.
That's my kind of roundabout.
No unsightly traffic signals and no long lines or congestion.
By the way, I'm pretty sure as well a roundabout is without traffic lights.
What's yours then?
What do you mean?
Wait, what do you mean?
Not every... I just want to clear this up because you're acting like every single roundabout in England that has traffic lights.
No, it doesn't. Obviously, you can see from the picture it's an English roundabout.
I think they're called traffic circles.
No, that's not an English roundabout. That's an American one.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think they're driving on the wrong side of the road there. I'm pretty sure on this video, we'll say it in a second, I'm pretty sure the ones you're on about are called traffic circles.
Oh, okay.
Not
just
roundabouts.
The ones that I've been on in Yorkshire.
You've been on loads without traffic lights.
Oh yeah, the one right by the shopping centre doesn't have traffic lights.
The one near my old school doesn't have traffic lights.
It's the one further down. Your old school? Of course it is. Yeah.
Like, there's so many. I was a bit confused. There's probably more.
There's one main one that I had to get on to go to the shopping centre, and I didn't like that one.
Yeah, but you had to all of them with
They're not actually. That's the only one.
I know way more without lights than with lights.
That's the only one I've been on with lights.
Yeah.
The rest don't have lights, and I went on about 5-6 roundabouts.
Yeah. There you go. So
there's about 3 roundabouts just to get from one end of the street to the other end of the street.
This video's a bit of a shambles so far, isn't it?
Oh my god. Yeah, because from your school, probably down to
This means nothing to you guys.
But I'm trying to put this in perspective. From your school down to your auntie's house, are probably 3 roundabouts that don't have traffic lights.
Yeah.
And I drove on those.
Yeah.
By myself.
I don't know what else to say,
and
guys.
I'm still here.
So
I'm actually sick of roundabouts. I like roundabouts.
Do you like them or not? Ignore the entire intro because that was useless. We were talking about different things, and let's go on from now.
It made me wonder why the U.S. had not built more roundabouts. When Brainerd was elected mayor of Carmel in 1996, he made it his mission to cover the city with roundabouts. But an ease in traffic congestion was not the only reason behind his campaign. In fact, the roundabout is the intersection of choice for many modernized countries because of its proven safety. Carmel, Indiana alone has seen a reduction in the number of injuries from car accidents by about 80% since the 1990s. So if roundabouts are increasing safety for drivers, why is America lagging behind?
Why?
I hate
Why
them.
America?
They're the worst things ever.
Just Americans like me hate it and don't think they're necessary. I think that it's taking a long time and I'm scared I'm gonna miss the exit I need, and so I end up going maybe 2 or 3 times more than I
You do
need
that
to.
sometimes.
Not in Jersey, I just add.
There are over
On our 1 of 10
Yeah.
roundabouts.
I like 2 exits.
300,000 existing signalized intersections in the United States. According
See,
to the
I don't
Federal
get
Highway
that.
Administration,
I
more
don't
than
like the
50%
I don't like
of
those.
The combined total of fatal and injury crashes occur at or near these intersections. On average, over 10,000 people are killed each year in collisions at them.
That's a lot.
Yet, studies show that modern roundabouts reduce accidents by 38% and fatal crashes up to 90%. So why does the collision rate drastically drop? Well, the answer lies in the construction. A roundabout is a small one-way circular intersection
That's what
built
I like.
around
Can't
a
get the
raised
speed.
center island. Drivers
also, everyone's
must
going the
yield
wrong-
to
wrong way.
circulating traffic as they enter and exit at their desired street. Because drivers are forced to slow down upon entry, the collision rate drops. They are no longer racing to beat the red light. Even if an accident occurs, injuries are less likely due to the lower speeds. Take note though, this is the definition specifically for what is called the modern roundabout. This
know what
is
does annoy
because
me
the
about
modern
roundabouts, though?
roundabout
No one indicates.
Yeah.
No one indicates. So no one knows what lane you're going in, no one knows what exit you're taking. And it winds me up.
I guess so. You can just kind of watch the car, I guess. You should indicate, guys. Don't not indicate, but it's not that big of a deal.
It is to me.
is often confused with the similar intersections known as traffic
There we go,
circles
traffic
or
circle.
rotaries.
I hate them.
Unlike modern roundabouts, traffic circles are much larger in shape. Drivers enter traffic circles in a straight line at faster speeds, and they're not required to yield to oncoming traffic. In modern roundabouts, drivers navigate a gentle curve at a slower pace. Traffic circles often use stoplights or stop signs within the circular
I
intersection.
do like
This
them
is Columbus
for the fact
Circle
that
in
they're
New York.
No, I do like the fact that they have traffic lights. So like
Oh, this
everyone
video is
knows
a shambles.
everyone knows which way to go. But what I don't like about them is that there's not enough time in between the next set of traffic lights to like get in your lane, to find your lane, especially when you don't know what lane you're supposed to be in. It doesn't give me enough time to choose which lane I need to go in.
So do you like them or not?
I'm not sure.
Like we've gone from
I like bits of them.
I hate roundabouts to oh wait they're not roundabouts, so I like roundabouts, but I hate traffic circles to I actually like traffic circles to no I'm not sure I don't like
I don't
them.
know. I'll decide at the end of the video.
New York City.
We've
Been
been
to that
there.
one.
Built in 1905, it's considered to be the world's first traffic circle.
Good shopping centre in there.
Following
Yes, because this is going to sound a little bit childish. The shopping centre, the one with the 2 statues of people naked.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
We did take pictures of them.
Yeah.
its construction, large traffic circles began spreading around
Yes,
the
Trump's
United
Tower.
States.
But
I
because
do
their
miss
layout
New York.
enabled high-speed merging and weaving, they caused more vehicle collisions and they quickly fell out of favor.
Big issue with these circles was safety. The fact that cars had to suddenly be stopped in the middle of it while everyone's coming in at speed, and that's scary.
That's Gordon Meth, a civil engineer.
And not all our cars perform as fast as others, then they would get congested. Those were the reasons why circles fell out of fashion, and a lot of government agencies went around trying to get rid of circles.
By the 1950s, development slowed to a halt worldwide.
Fast forward to 1966. A city engineer named Frank Blackmore of the United Kingdom wanted to rectify the problems caused by traffic circles.
We have some of those,
So,
don't we?
he
Yeah.
developed
Just
what
as
is
those
now
Jordan
known
ones.
as the modern roundabout. Blackmore established the give way rule for his modern roundabouts, which required entering drivers to yield to circulating traffic. This created a much safer intersection than the original traffic circles. The idea quickly gained favor, and the modern roundabout began spreading throughout parts of Europe.
British scene.
The changes Blackmore made were successful, and over time, accident rates dropped drastically.
But the trend was not catching on in the United States. Engineers weren't convinced that the improvements Blackmore enacted were safer for drivers, and Americans still had a largely unpopular opinion about them.
So, American engineer Leif Arsten set out to change that. In 1984, Arsten reached out to Blackmore for help. In 1941, Sir Winston Churchill asked America to join Britain in a struggle to protect democracy. We join you, and together we triumphed. Now, 45 years later, I am calling upon you to help me with a difficult struggle in which we are both engaged. We are trying to bring the British-style roundabout to the Western Hemisphere. The fighting is tough, the slogging is slow, and the resistance is stiff. In the spirit of Anglo-American cooperation, will you join us and lend a hand? Blackmore quickly agreed to a meeting with Arsten and traveled to the United States.
There you go. We're helping build a roundabouts. You're welcome. Unless you hate them, then we're very sorry. Sack the roundabouts off. We don't even know if the traffic circles are roundabouts. But if you love them, you're welcome.
Britain.
Together, the two set out
safer
around the state of California, persuading traffic heads to begin building modern roundabouts. However, the public was not convinced. Surveys showed only 20% of drivers approved of their construction. Even if project proposals for roundabouts were approved, the two men were often met with protest, and the plans were quickly shut down. Finally, in 1990, Arsten and Blackmore's hard work paid off, and the first two modern roundabouts were successfully constructed in a Las Vegas subdivision. The feat caught the attention of city planners. Other communities followed in their footsteps, and roundabouts slowly began popping up around the U.S.
That's a unique roundabout, isn't it?
Communities followed in their footsteps.
Look at that. It's like
a roundabout, then a roundabout.
Yeah, it's like an 8 roundabout, but you don't intersect. Or like an infinity sign, you know what I mean?
Like a massive long roundabout, you mean?
Yeah. Well, yeah, no, it is literally just a massive... I don't see the point of a massive long roundabout, but... Roundabout, bridge, roundabout. I guess that's what we'd do in England, wouldn't they? In England, to be fair, I kind of like it now. In England, we'd have a roundabout, then a bridge, and then a roundabout, wouldn't we?
Yeah, but it makes sense if you want to go off in different directions, doesn't it?
Yeah, it just makes it look nicer, doesn't it? It kind of merges... Instead of having your separate roundabout...
England's not about beauty, it's about... structure.
Yeah, but I prefer that. You know what? I prefer that roundabout.
Yeah, we wouldn't see that beauty in England.
No, we'd just have a basic bridge.
You'd go
over
up
the top.
that bit off the, we call it a motorway. It'd be a roundabout. You go off to your exit. You go across the bridge.
And then there'd be another roundabout the opposite side.
To choose which lane you want.
Yeah, I think we're money saving because we didn't want to build too wide across the road. So we just did a single across the road, and then the roundabouts each side. Yeah, we're just cutting costs, I think. But I do rate that.
And roundabouts slowly began popping up around the U.S.
Although construction started later in the U.S., the timeline of events is not an exclusive explanation for the lack of roundabouts. In fact, there are a few theories that could account for the answer.
First, the American detestation for roundabouts could derive from what is called the availability heuristic. This term describes the way people form an opinion on something based on the immediate thoughts or memories that are associated with it. The scene of Clark Griswold getting trapped while driving in a traffic circle and European Vacation may come to mind.
It's amazing. I cannot get left. There's Big Ben, kids, Parliament.
Or perhaps the time Homer Simpson drives hopelessly around the Lambeth Bridge roundabout before swerving out in a desperate attempt to escape the never-ending nightmare.
Keep turning, keep turning, keep turning, keep turning.
I see an opening.
Only to crash into the Queen of England herself.
That's it. I'm acting the way America acts best, unilaterally.
When thinking about modern roundabouts, many Americans tend to envision traffic circles. This is an easy misconception because the two appear similar at first glance. Ever since the fallout of the original traffic circle that enabled high collision rates in the early 1900s, Americans were left with a bad taste in their mouths. So, the assumption that modern roundabouts will be just as dangerous is formed. Plus, American drivers might simply just be used to traffic lights.
Yeah.
We're just used to intersections and traffic signals historically. I've found that the public sometimes don't like four-way stops where everyone has to stop and yield. They just don't like them.
I suppose that is it at the end of the day, isn't it? It's what you're used to.
It's what you grew up on, isn't it?
If you grew up on that, the roundabouts for you in England, you're fine with, because you grew
They're
up on
the same as the Jersey ones.
They're not.
But we have some traffic circles.
Like, for me, I grew up with 10 roundabouts. I know how to use my 10 roundabouts. Give me 11 roundabouts and...
I guess it's kind of a way, which I'll keep this quick because we have paused those, but in Jersey there's a thing called filter and turn. Where
no one in England has that.
It's not a thing in England.
I don't know if it's a thing in the US, maybe.
Let us know if you have it, but literally it's you're two roads, or you have it on a roundabout as well.
Two roads come together.
And you come together, but you take it in turns, it's filter and turn, so that car goes and that car.
Whoever gets there first goes, and then
you alternate the lanes. If you're in a traffic jam, it's alternate lanes.
It's brilliant because it just holds up, it just releases all the traffic because you don't have to wait for
You're not fighting with anyone, and it is easy.
But it's so annoying when like an English car comes and they just almost kill you because they don't
they don't get it, because you've not grown up on it. And it's the same here.
Yeah.
If you don't know it, you're not growing up on it, you haven't learned it, then it's going to be hard, isn't it?
I remember your mum still, like...
I don't think she still gets it.
No, like a couple of years ago, like when
just
we first
got
together, she was like, I still don't understand it.
Yeah,
There's not many in Jersey, to be fair.
There's only a couple, but it's just something new, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it's a bit difficult for
There's
people.
even one on the roundabout, isn't there?
Yeah.
Traffic, they get kind of confused. I think you get the same effect in a roundabout. You know, the uncertainty level gets to people. There's something comforting, I think, to the red, yellow, green that tells you it's time to go or not go.
They are comfortable with a binary system that controls their actions and makes decisions for them. Red light stop, green light go. Simple enough, right? In a sense, drivers care more about the illusion of safety created by stoplights. But when they are forced to rely on their own driving abilities, along with the actions of others, it causes a confusing and distressing experience. Another theory could be that Americans just don't know how to use a roundabout.
There are certain parts of the country where they're starting to gain favor, but the reality is that people aren't used to it. You come up to this intersection, this circle, and it tells you to yield, but you're not totally sure how to use it, and you're not used to the concept of going around in a circle to find your exit. So it's a matter of just people getting comfortable with it and used to it. And that comes with critical mass. The more of them there are, the better. So I think that's what the main reluctance is.
Many states don't even require teenagers to navigate one during the road skills driver's exam to obtain their licenses. Even in the turn section on the Virginia State Driver's Evaluation, the roundabout portion reads only if available.
Yeah, I don't think we're forced to do them in ours, are we?
No, I didn't.
I guess in England, you...
go on the motorway probably, don't you?
Yeah, you do go on the... you used to not go on the motorway, but I think you do now.
It's weird that you, like... Because obviously in Jersey, your licence you can drive in England as well.
Yeah.
Obviously our roads are a lot smaller, a lot less confusing, a lot less busy, all that. And I could drive anywhere.
Oh, no, yeah, there's no motorways in Jersey, but if you pass your Jersey, you can go on a motorway in England. I guess it's just where you're from, isn't it? But I guess, going back to the point, England has a lot more roundabouts, so there's probably always one incorporated in, you know?
Yeah.
Jersey route is away from roundabouts, away from our massive 10. So you just don't get in them.
American drivers end up learning how to drive through a roundabout during their first real-world encounter with them. This can cause a stressful experience due to the lack of familiarity. Therefore, the disdain for the experience is established. Lastly, it comes down to awareness. Many Americans don't know how beneficial roundabouts are. Not only do roundabouts reduce vehicle collisions by 38%, they are also cheaper to construct, reduce congestion, and are better for the environment. Roundabouts save about $5,000 to $10,000 per year due to the reduced maintenance and electrical cost. They also improve traffic flow. Cars do not have to stop and wait for the light to change. One study of 3 locations in New Hampshire, New York, and Washington found an 89% average reduction in vehicle delays and a 56% average reduction in vehicle stops in areas where roundabouts replace intersections. Another study in Kansas, across 11 intersections, found similar results, with a 65% reduction in delays and a 52% decrease in traffic stops. Because of the reduction in traffic delays and stops, roundabouts have a relatively non-existent carbon footprint. One study in Sweden found an average reduction in carbon emissions by 29% and a reduction in fuel consumption by 28%.
Fortunately, it is proven that more and more Americans are coming around to accepting and using roundabouts.
Studies show that once drivers learn how to use them, their attitude towards roundabouts drastically changes. Community surveys where roundabouts were built shows that only 30% of people approved of them before construction, but approval increased to about 50 to 70% after they were built. So, while modern roundabouts may not be widely popular in the US, Americans are slowly coming back around to the idea of them.
What did you reckon to that then?
I like roundabouts, but I don't like traffic roundabouts.
I think that's all we gained from this video, wasn't it? You now know the difference.
Every day's a school day.
Every day is a school day. I love that saying. Every day is a school day. You've got to learn something for the first time at some point in your life, haven't you? And hopefully you guys have learned that they're not that scary roundabouts, are they?
I don't know.
Unless you're Millie.
Unless they got traffic lights on.
Yeah, I think joking aside, I think just the main thing is that you don't know how to use them, you haven't used them, so it's scary first time, isn't it?
Yeah, if you don't grow up with them, then of course you don't know how to use them.
Yeah, it's kind of like us with the motorway as well.
Oh, yeah.
Because we never use it because we're in Jersey.
I've still never driven on one.
Yeah, you haven't.
You've
done dual carriageways though.
I started getting up there. I got up to 50 mile an hour.
Yep. But like when your speed limit's 40, you suddenly go over to England and you got to drive on a 4-wide motorway or 3-wide motorway, which you haven't got in Jersey, and you're going 70, 80, 90 mile an hour. I mean, 70 mile an hour, ignore the other two. It's something new, and it's a little bit scary, isn't it?
Definitely wasn't doing 80 trying to take his dad.
Definitely not. But it's something new, and it's something you've never experienced. And then once you do it, you realise, oh, you're just driving in a straight line.
You're fine now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're just driving in a straight line, pretty much.
The thing that scares me is the fact that I'm in control of the car at that speed.
Yeah, but you realise it's weird because 70 mile an hour feels like 20 mile an hour when you're doing it, and then when you go back to 20 mile an hour after that, it feels like you're doing 2 mile an hour.
Yeah.
So it's all perception. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video. Did you enjoy that?
Yeah, it was good.
Smash that like button if you have, guys. Smash the subscribe button and have a fantastic day. But before you go, let us know why you hate roundabouts or if you love them in the comments. Peace.